Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Soviet Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the Obj 259a. Now if you do like the video, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below as it really does help out the channel. And yeah, the Obj 259a again. And you might be going, again? You're showing it off again? Yes, because, well, we had two pretty damn good replays games in this tank. They were pretty fun games to have. And, yeah, we're going to have a damn good time in it. And, yeah, the Obj 259a, what's it like? Well, it's a very middle-of-the-pack Soviet Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank. If I'm 100% honest with you, it's not the best Tier 8 Heavy Tank out there. It's also not the worst. It's pretty balanced, generally, as a Heavy Tank. And it's more of a Heavium than it is a fully fledged brawling heavy tank that you go, yes, I've got armor, get stuck in. No, you are very much a heavium where you're going to be playing that more hybrid heavy tank, medium tank role. Realistically, you're going to be putting yourselves in more flanky positions and then get yourselves to use this pretty damn good gun that this tank gets, because this gun is one of the standout aspects of the tank, as well as the mobility, although the mobility is good if you are more on sort of going downhill and stuff like that, because generally you have a 60 kph top speed, but at the end of the day, do you ever really actually hit 60 kilometers an hour? No, not really, unless you go downhill. You're more realistically, you're doing between 40 to 45 kph, which is still pretty good if we're honest for a heavy tank. It makes you that below average medium tank speed, but it's when you've got that top speed of 60, you look at the raw top speed and go, oh my goodness, 60 kilometers an hour? No, it's a lie. It's a complete and utter lie. You do not hit it unless you go downhill. So that's just something to bear in mind. But the gun is where this tank truly does stand out. You have 6 degrees of gun depression, which is definitely nice for a Soviet heavy. A lot of them tend to have like 5, so 6 is okay. It gives you that little bit extra flexibility on a ridgeline, but realistically you still do struggle on a ridgeline because 6 degrees of gun depression is still not the best in the universe. But the gun has a base accuracy of 0.4, but it never feels like that. And that's because your accuracy during rotation on the move is actually not that bad at all. And with all the gun perks and the gun stabilizer, you get the gun, it basically just doesn't bloom out that much. And you really don't even feel the 2.8 second aim time that this thing has either. The 1400 meters a second shell velocity is one of the things that makes this gun feel phenomenal with the APCR as standard on this tank. With 420 alpha as well. Yeah, 420 alpha is just that, it's that in-between alpha. And it's pretty nice because we hit for 440 there on the Calliope, right? It tends to be that you see the rolls between 400 and 440, which means it's not like the 390 ones where you're getting like 330, 340, 350 to like, you know, 410, 420, 430. It tends to roll between that 4 to 440, and it's a little bit more satisfying when you're hitting, like, you know, quite a lot and quite hard, which is a good time. So what do I run in terms of a crew on the 259A? Well, I do run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Trap Mechanic, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Off-Road Driving. Off-Road Driving to try and at least help me get somewhere better on my top speed, because the ground resistances are a little bit high, so I do want to make it so that it's better in general, so that I can try and get somewhere up to that 60 km an hour top speed. Generally, you still won't hit the 60 km an hour top speed, but instead of going at, say, like 40, you might hit 42, 43, 44 on certain terrains, right? It just helps it a little bit. All the gun perks, because you are a Soviet heavy tank and your gun is base statistically very weak, so, well, not weak, it's not very weak. Some of the tanks like the IS-3A, etc. are very weak in terms of their base stats. This is in the... yeah, it's derpy. You want to help it out as much as possible with those gun perks, and then all of the other perks are generally what you're going to take for this tank, for any tank in World War II generally. And then in terms of equipment, I run the advanced loader, the gun stabilizer, and optics. Optics to be able to spot for myself, because I want to be able to rely on myself to be able to spot for myself realistically in any tank. So optics is always something that I want to take. So because I do have 380 meters view range, so it's quite helpful to get the view range up as high as possible. The gun stabilizer to make this gun as good as possible, because like I say, this gun is one of the key aspects of the tank, so I want to make it as nice as it can be. And the advanced loader to make sure that I have as good a reload as possible, because you do have a bit of a longer reload, so naturally making it a bit shorter, is always a great time. So this first replay, We're up to 6.1k damage. We saw that the enemy team were progressing out of the city and they were heading towards our cap. So we decided, okay, we're going to go back and cut them off. And that is exactly what we've done. And this game went from like, oh, I've done like 3k to, oh, we're at 6,500 right now. Okay. We get a nice shot there to shut down the Kurovets. One, securing our 5th kill of the game. 6.7k damage. Maneuvering ourselves into a position where maybe we can get a shot at the Goranich, but he's actually drove right behind the house, which is just in a position that we can't quite find a shot at him. Hopefully we're going to find... Oh, and unfortunately, the 12T sets him on fire. I was hoping that maybe we could find a shot at that Goranich, secure our top gun, but unfortunately he somehow put himself in a position where we just couldn't quite get a shot at him, but everyone else could, you know? It's one of those sod's law moments where you're like, I really want that top gun, and then someone's like, no. No. Nope. Nope. No. Nuh-uh. You're not killing me, bruh. And they go and hide behind the buildings. Although, to be fair, he was probably so focused on the guys in front they didn't even realise I was there. But it's just sod's law that he did that without even knowing. And it's always the way, right? But there's one tank left on the enemy team. It is the artillery, and we kind of know where he probably is. He's either going to be in the town or down there at K2, but unfortunately for us, he does get spotted by the light tank. Maybe we could maneuver a shot on him, though, from on top of these little hills, because... you know, elevation, he might be down in the dip, but if we get ourselves up high, maybe we could get a shot at him. And instead of, you know, just trying to charge around into the dip and try and get there as quickly as possible in front of all the other tanks, we can get ourselves up on top of this ridge line, possibly get a shot. As long as physics decides to let us up instead of stop sliding. There we go, we can just about see him. Can we get the pixel shot? I'm not trusting that, and unfortunately the M4043 gets shut down by our team, which means we can't quite shut down or secure, our top gun. But we do finish the game with 5 kills, 6.7 thousand damage, 6.7k damage. The ace tanker, high caliber, 2.2k base XP, nearly 2.3k base XP. A pretty damn nice game there for the 259A. I mean, 6.7 to 6.8k is a ridiculous amount of damage for any tier 8 heavy tank, so it was really nice to get it in this tank, and then we got that one on stream as well, which was pretty cool. And we are on to the second replay, and the second replay we are on Ghost Town, and oh boy, we're gonna have a time. We're top tier once again, and yeah, it's gonna be a pretty nice result. So on Ghost Town, we are going to the middle. We're gonna go to the position at E6, which is somewhere that I do tend to go because I can get shots across the middle, and anyone that decides to, you know, try and look across, you can get some free shots at them sometimes. Sometimes people cross along diagonally, along F4, G5, that sort of area, so sometimes you can catch them on the cross as well. But the one thing you always want to watch out for is what's happening on the map. So you can see my team is along the B line. A 45 TP gets spotted on our left, and I decide, okay, you know what? Let's go put ourselves in a position where maybe we can get some shots at the 45 TP. And as we're going across to see if we can get some shots at that guy, we end up finding both this medium tank in the T25AT, well, this medium tank, the TD, and the medium tank in the CS44. There we go. We get the tank classes right in the end. And we find those guys, so it's like, okay, no, I'm going to turn straight in, get to this little ridge line, and then start trying to put some shots in. Now we've got a Carnarvon charging after us, who is not using the strength of the tank. The Carnarvon is a very, very good tank hull down, but he's put himself right in the open in a position. We're trying to go for the drive wheel shot to track him in place so that it makes it a bit easier for us to get a shot at him in a minute, waiting for our reload. And it would be nice to get rid of that guy because he does fire quite quickly. The CS44 is trying to get away, and unfortunately, nice gun handling, did I say? We hit the floor, obviously, to disprove our point, saying, oh, this gun's really nice. It always feels like it hits the target. No, yeah, okay, sure, RNG. RNG is still a thing. The CS44 drives out directly in front of us and goes, CS44, sorry, the Carnarvon. The Carnarvon's just like, you know what, kill me. Just shut me down, and we put him out of his misery. There we shut down the 45 TP, racking up another kill. We lock on to the LTTB to keep our gun pointing on target while we had a look at the opposite side of the map. The LTTB is fully circling our poor T69, and I'm like, Mr. T69, I am here to help, buddy. I'm going to save you. Just wait for my very long reload, and then I will help. But the T69 shuts down that LTTB. We got shot by this T25AT, and it's like, sir, you're going to struggle to pen me. So you know what? I'm just going to drive around and get rid of you. He actually, I think he fired HE there, bless his cotton socks. And we give him the little love tap of joy and shut him down. Now we are thinking, right, what do we want to do? I could go after the medium tank at J4, but in fact, a lot of their team are... okay, RNG. A lot of their team are going towards our cap, so we've got to go help the cap out. Unfortunately, we couldn't quite get the shot to shut down the P43 Tur, but we get a nice shot there through the side of the T69. He starts looking at us, so what we do is automatically go towards the building, make it as difficult as possible. The T34, who is not really going to struggle to pen us if he shoots us in the right spots, is something that we have to get rid of. Now, obviously, this is where our armor is a bit pooey against, because he's got pretty damn good armor. Damn good penetration. If he shoots out upper plate at any sort of angle, he can go through it. If he hits the lower plate, he can pen it. And in the sort of situation he is there, because my lower plate has the two side armor plates next to it, they are a bait. They are a bait. They will bounce a lot of shots, but because he was kind of shooting up, it negates the angle that they're at, which means they're not really auto ricochet angles. So I had to be careful against that guy, and I decided, you know what, I don't really want to face that guy in the position he is. He's going to have to attack me. But we found this T28. We're going to start reverse side scraping against the T28. We see the T34's killed the Tiger 2, and I'm thinking, oh, I really have to get rid of this T28 so I can go and focus on the T34. The T34 is clearly starting to come round, but the Craft Panther is distracting him. We've now got a heavy tank there's a heavy tank looking at us who shoots us. There we go. It's a Gorinich. I'm thinking, oh, goodness gracious me, this is not good. The Gorinich might struggle to pen us if we go frontally onto him. So that's what we do. We get straight onto him, shut him down with a shot through his droid. And there goes that Soviet Tier 8 preferential heavy tank. Again, we really need to get rid of the T28 so that we can get onto this T34. We go for the cupola shot, and thankfully we roll high, and that shuts down that guy. And we're up to 5.3 thousand damage, and we're up to 5 kills. And what we're going to do is we're going to go after this T34 now, who is distracted. We get a shot through the side of the T34's turret. He ends up shutting down our Craft Panther, unfortunately. The Stirrer Mill misses him, and this time, this gives us the chance to secure the Top Gun! And we get the kill there on that T34. Getting our Top Gun with 6,000 damage. Now, there's 2 tanks left on the enemy team. There's a TD, which is the SU-130PM that's spotted over there, and a medium tank. Can we get a shot at this SU-130PM? We can, but we've only got heat left, and that shell just flew so high, and unfortunately it missed. We load HE, because we know we're going after an SU-130PM. I know I can go after this guy with the HE, I can pen him. If I can pen him with the HE, I can get a big roll, that would be nice. As we come around the corner, we get spotted, and it's like, oh, goodness gravy me. He ends up actually tracking us and penning us there, which is a sad time. But the HE round did go in. Now we know he's a one-shot. We've loaded the heat in case we get against this guy, and the T69 appears from somewhere, and we can shoot the T69 with the HE, or the heat, sorry. And now we're going after the SU-130PM with the heat. We get straight after him, shut him down. Now there's only one tank left. It's the T69. We know exactly where he is. So you know what? We're going to sit and wait for him to drive around the corner. Make the mistake, my friend. And he does. We shut him down and secure the 8th kill of this game for the Obj 259a. We finished again with the victory. 8 kills, 7,023 damage, a bit of blocked, some good credits made. Ace Tanker, Radley Walters, Devastator Medal, Top Gun, High Caliber, Steel Wall, 2,600 base XP. A pretty damn great game there for the Obj 259a. 2 really nice games that I had in the tank while I was playing it, after playing it on stream and playing it generally, because I've been quite enjoying the tank. And yeah, 259a, it's a very bang average, middle of the pack Soviet Tier 8 heavy tank, but you can still have some good fun with it, as you've seen. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!